G'day. I'd like to read you another poem today and share with you some thoughts on it. It's called The Older I Get. The older I get, the less I care about people's opinions of me. I'm not going to change to please them. I'll be who I want to be. I'm not going to go along with the crowd just so I can fit in. I'm doing what makes me happy, and the rest I'm happy to bin. I've learned to see things from a new perspective. I see through the mirrors and smoke. I don't buy into the dramas of life, and I laugh at the cosmic joke. I see all those people getting so het up at politics and world events, but I'm not going to let it all drag me down, and I won't run to its defence. I'd rather retain my energy and emotional stability by dealing with what's on my own plate and what's directly in front of me. Because it's a waste of time trying to change the world if you haven't first changed yourself. If you haven't learned to live in love and worked on your own mental health. If you haven't sought your spiritual heart and the reason you're even here. If you haven't even learned that, the truth of you that transcends all hatred is fear. If you haven't looked beyond religion and all other forms of control and learned that you are source itself expressed through your very own soul. If you haven't released the need to judge others and condemn their souls to some hell, if you haven't released all the fear from the lies that man-made religions tell, if you haven't worked out that divinity is right there inside of you and used the love that flows from that in all you say and do. And I don't care if you call me a heretic and condemn me to your fictitious hell, because that's just a stale invention of men, and that old lie is beginning to smell. You will never change the world we live in. That's not our job to do. The best you can do is influence others by being the best version of you. Then you'll affect the world by osmosis, and the love you share spreads out, and others like you start to open their eyes to what life is really about. And what it's about, what's it about, I hear you ask? What's this message you're trying to shove? Well, it's simple, really, so listen up. The message is just, be love. Okay, some of you might relate to that feeling of when, as you're getting older, that you don't want to play those old games anymore. You've learned a little bit in life, and you've seen that the idea of judgment and condemnation is really selling ourselves short as a race, as a species. Unfortunately, we have been brainwashed by religion that has been hijacked by the agendas of men, and they created a hell for us to believe in, to scare us into towing the line and doing things their way. But it really is a fictitious idea, because Jesus never talked about that kind of thing. Jesus taught us that the kingdom of God is within, and that we don't need saving. We're already saved because we are God expressed. There is no hell to be scared of. There's no devil and demons like the church or the early fathers of the church invented. It's all about learning to seek what's best for us, and do good in the world through love. The references, my understanding is that the references to hell and damnation and that sort of stuff was added in later by people interpreting what Jesus was saying in their own under their own agendas, really, just to, like I said, manipulate people to basically remain as members of their church and not to stray outside the flock, so to speak. It was probably as much a financial reason for that as anything else, but of course strength in numbers as well. But I think the more we've learnt, the more we've progressed, scientifically, spiritually, philosophically, we've come to realise that those old ideas are just a primitive way of looking at life, and that there is so much more to be learned about the human condition and the reason what we're even here. So that's why I have little patience nowadays for the religiously pious who go around judging people and saying you can't do this, you can't do that because it's against God, and they try to create God in their own image rather than living out as the image of God, which is their essentially their true self anyway. I think it's time that mankind actually woke up to this and realised that as expressions of God, we have the ability to change the world for better, because God is the creator, so therefore we are also creators, and we don't have to be victims of our circumstances. We can actually create better lives for ourselves through our belief. And it's all about vibration, really. It's all about raising your vibration to a higher level so that you attract better things to you. Understanding vibration is actually a very important thing, because as you know, when you're sad, when you're angry, your vibration can be pretty low, like especially in depressed people. That's why they move slowly, they speak slowly. It's like they're dragging their feet. That's because they're vibrating at a low level. And you'll notice a difference that when you get happy, when things start to improve, your vibration raises and you become lighter, you become more agile and able to move and joyful, and your spirits are lifted. There's no coincidence that we use all these terms in describing joy. We lift our arms to the heavens. We're lifting our vibration to the heavens, so that we can vibrate at that higher level. It's getting into that higher level which is the challenge for us. That's how we actually get into that creative mode. The law of attraction says that if you want to draw something good into your life, whether it be a lover, financial, anything like that, then you have to raise your vibration to the level of that which you desire. It's the old as a man thinketh, so shall it be, as Jesus told us, that we can manifest what we raise our vibration to, the way that we think about things and our beliefs. There's so much more than the fear and condemnation that's been peddled by religion in the past. And I'm not going to be bound by that anymore, and people can judge me, call me a heretic or whatever, but I'm happy being who I am and expressing myself my way. And if they don't like it, well then it's really their problem. It's got nothing to do with me. So I guess what I'm saying is be true to yourself. Try and get your vibration up there, raise it to the happy state that you would rather live life in, and don't let those illusions of life drag you down. The things that you think are so important and so oppressive in your life are really just illusions, and you can overcome them by changing the way that you look at it and by changing your vibration. Meditation is a great way to get on top of that. I like to try and meditate every morning, and that sets me up for the day. It raises my vibration, and I'm able to ease into the day. So you can do that. You can do that going for a walk. I'd like to be able to do more walks at the moment, but I've got a damaged meniscus in my knee, which sort of slows me down. I can get so far, but then I've got to come home and rest it. But I'll get back into that as well. But doing those sort of things, bike rides, all those sort of things that raise your energy and make you feel better about yourself and better about life, and you find that things improve. One of the biggest problems with depressed people is that they they just sit and flounder and have no energy to do anything. But one of the best cures, or one of the best things to get them on the road to a better state of mind, is actually getting out and walking, getting out and doing something. Get in the garden, weed the plants, or prune the roses or whatever. And that helps to raise your energy. Nature helps to raise your energy. Get down to the park and enjoy the energy of the trees and the grass and birds and all that sort of stuff, because that is really rejuvenating stuff. It's actually connecting in again with source. That same energy that flows through nature flows through all living things. And, well, you could say a rock's not living, but a rock is actually still an energy, because it's bound together by, all the atoms are bound together by an energy. It's just in a more solid state, or a different state to what we are. But understanding that all is energy, and we came from that energy, and we return to that energy. We don't have to fear being sent to some other place. That's not what God's about. That's not what a loving God would do. Who would create somebody to say, right, you're chosen, you're not? That's not loving. It's time we got over those old-fashioned ideas and actually came into the fullness of who we're meant to be. Anyway, I'll leave you with that. Have a good weekend, and hopefully I'll get a chance to record some more poems soon. Okay, catch you later. Bye.